Previously on Dragon Age.
The Arashok is sheltering two fugitives who have converted to the Qun. He must be convinced to release them.
Remember the relic? The one Castillon is going to kill me over? A man called Wall-Eyed Sam has it. If you help me get it, Castillon won't kill me. Please. The relic is a Qunari text handwritten by that philosopher of theirs. Kuzlan, whatever his name is.
Koslin?
That's the one.
The founder of their religion, the most revered being in their history? That text would be sacred beyond measure.
He's getting away! Isabella!
I would speak to Hawke about the relic stolen from my grasp.
One of my former companions stole it.
We're here for the fugitives.
The elves are now Vidithari. They have chosen to submit to the Qun.
You can't just decide that. You must hand them over.
I cannot leave without the relic, and I cannot stay and remain blind to this dysfunction. There is only one solution.
Not here! Too open! Go! Go! I am Knight Commander Meredith.
Head to the keep and I will see if I can find more of my men. These creatures will pay for this outrage.
What were you thinking, child? I told you to let them take me.
We had to do something. We couldn't just... I'm glad you're safe. The city's under attack. None of us are safe.
We'll need to get you inside and catch up as soon as we can. You will not conquer this city without a fight! Cerebos! Vidicacus!
Here is your fight out. You know I am denied Parvalan until the Tome of Kozlun is found. How would you see this conflict resolved without it?
I believe I can answer that. I'm sure you'll find it mostly undamaged.
You know we do not suffer thieves. She cannot walk away from this insult. I will take her. If you object, duty demands that we fight. One day, we shall return.
It appears Kirkwall has a new champion.
Champion of Kirkwall. That was the reward. A fine title. Every noble at the keep owed the champion their lives. She wasn't just a hero. She was now the most important person in the city. Except for Knight Commander Meredith, of course. With the Viscount dead, she stepped in to keep order. Things quickly got out of hand. The more she squeezed the mages, the more they resisted. The more they resisted, the tighter she squeezed. After 3 years of that, it all came crashing down.
I know you fear us. Knight Commander Meredith uses that fear to take control of your city. She opposes every effort to replace Viscount Dumar. And you have seen the chaos of her reign. Will you allow it?
Return to your homes. This farce is over.
Wait! Perhaps there are some who might disagree with you, Knight Commander.
Do not hide behind the champion. She has no role in this.
Sounds like you two have quite the little argument going.
This is not an argument. It's treason.
I think the champion's views would be appreciated. Or do you fear what she has to say?
I fear nothing. My only interest here is in keeping order and protecting the innocent.
What are you trying to do here? Cause a rebellion?
The people of this city need to know what is really happening.
And then what? They tear down the gallows with pitchforks and torches? That would be better?
It cannot be worse. Your refusal to listen to reason leaves me no choice.
What I refuse to listen to are excuses. Perhaps you are ill-fit to your position if you cannot understand this.
Threatening each other isn't going to help matters.
And what should I do instead? Allow this to continue?
Your measures have become more extreme over the last 3 years.
And you could do better? How well did you guard your own mother? Did she not die at a blood mage's hands?
Leave my mother out of this.
Cold corpses speak louder than abstract freedoms, do they not? As long as that's true, Kirkwall needs its Templars more than it needs a new ruler.
And when will that end? When will you stop seeing evil in every corner?
When it's no longer there.
Maybe you two should wrestle, because there's no other way to resolve this.
You are naive, champion.
You will find that not everyone bows to your will, Knight Commander.
My. Such a terrible commotion.
This mage incites rebellion, Your Grace. I am dealing with the matter.
Ah, Orsino. So frustrated. Do you think this is truly wise?
No, Your Grace.
Of course not. Young men, would you show the first enchanter back to the circle? Gently, if you please.
Your Grace! He should be clapped in irons, made an example of!
That's enough, Meredith. This demeans us all. Surely you can see that. Go back to the gallows and calm down, like a good girl. You have my thanks for stepping in, champion. If you had not...
You're the Grand Cleric. Aren't you in charge of the Templars and Circle?
Oh my. You have quite the estimation of my abilities. Gentle people of Kirkwall, return to your homes, I implore you. This will not be solved today. And now I must attend to the gallows. They will see reason if the Maker wills it. Thank you again, champion.
Alright, welcome back, fellow adventurers, to Let's Play Dragon Age 2. We have entered the third and final act, and we're going to be doing what we usually do. We'll first check in on all of our companions, see how they've been doing for the past 3 years, because this is a new act, and so another 3 years have passed since the Qunari were defeated. And then we'll see what the latest trouble between the mages and the Templars is. First off, though, we're right next to this guy offering requests, and this is just a small side quest, so we'll go ahead and activate that.
Many Qunari fell in Kirkwall when we departed. I am sent to gather their swords. If you find a Qunari sword, return it to me.
What do I get if I bring one to you?
It is reward enough to complete a worthy task. But if you crave gold, that can be arranged.
Don't you want their bodies too?
Their husks serve no purpose. The weapons shall satisfy a demand of the Qun.
I'll keep an eye out.
You will find me here.
So as we go along in this act, if we find Qunari swords, every now and then we'll return and turn them in. Aside from gold, you can actually get some experience as well for doing that. So that's always nice.
You know you still owe me 5 sovereigns, Elf.
I'm good for it.
So you think you can win the coin from Isabella? Good luck with that. Coming to the Hanged Man for Wicked Grace later?
Never miss it.
And you'll actually get the sense as we go through the banter here that you get a good sense that these guys really have started to know each other for about 7 years now. They know how to push each other's buttons, oftentimes. Another quest offering here.
Ah, the champion of Kirkwall. Your reputation precedes you. Forgive me. I should introduce myself properly. My name is Nancio Caldera Lanos. I am a noble from the beautiful country of Antiva.
It must have taken a lot of practice to say that all in one breath.
It's mostly to impress the ladies, I assure you. I've come to ask your help, champion. Hiding among the Dalish is an elven assassin I've been chasing for months. He's a master manipulator who will endanger even his own kind to ensure his survival.
You don't seem the type to hunt assassins. Why are you after him?
At first, it was merely duty to Antiva. But after losing so many good men to him, it became personal. He's nothing but a murderer, a thief, and a liar.
You want me to use my wily ways to find out where the Dalish are hiding this elf?
That is part of it, yes. This elf is very dangerous, and he must be brought in before he kills again. I've heard of your dealings with the Dalish. I was hoping you could go where my men could not. Find out where the assassin is hiding, and apprehend him.
I'll see what I can do.
One of the Dalish, a woman named Variel, is a friend of his. I suggest speaking with her first.
We won't be here when you get back. We got a campsite outside the city. Look for us there.
And, excuse me, this will actually begin one of several quests that involve cameos. There's a number of them that are going to be popping up as we go along. I think there's more cameos from previous characters in Act 3 than any other part of the game. But let's go ahead and make our usual rounds. We'll see how everyone's been doing. So, as usual, we'll start with Aveline up at Viscount's Keep. As Varric stated in the opening, the de facto ruler of Kirkwall for the last 3 years has actually been Knight Commander Meredith, which is unusual because the city-states of the Free Marches are used to having civilian leaders, so having a military leader is somewhat odd,
So who is Bianca?
and apparently causing some
My
friction.
crossbow. Say hello, Bianca.
But why Bianca? You must have named her after someone.
Nope. Mirabelle was taken.
The way you fondle your weapon is disturbing.
Hey, I'm a perfect gentleman. In public.
Some things I'm not sure I want to know the details of, Varric, but anyway, let's check in with Aveline here.
Guardsmen, duties for the week will be...
Lowtown canvas. 5 on, 3 off.
City perimeter by 2s. Clear by 2nd watch.
Training recruits full metal by week's end.
Anything else, Captain?
No. Thank you. Donicus, a good man. I'm sorry, was there something you wanted?
You never said how your 3 weeks in Orlais went.
You're right. I didn't.
Whew. Hot in here.
Anything else?
Your men could give the Templars a run for their sovereigns.
They've had to. As long as there's no Viscount, the Order thinks they can bark at any man in uniform. I won't have it. The people of Kirkwall need to see themselves in their guard. Lose that connection, we're just targets.
Kirkwall seems to have rallied around you.
I try to keep order, and people appreciate that. Everything else is going insane. A few complaints here and there, but for the most part, I think everyone's just glad the guard has been stable for a few years.
Just checking in. Need anything?
Yes, there's something. Come back soon. I'll get into it then.
I'll see you later.
Of course, Hawke.
Sounds like Aveline has something brewing. Maybe she'll tell us about it later. Alright, I believe our usual next stop is Merrill. Let's go ahead and do that.
Come on, Daisy. You've been holed up in here for days. If you don't get some sunshine, you'll wilt.
I'm not a plant, Varric. I'm fine.
Just take a walk around the Lowtown Market. Get some air, and I'll stop bothering you.
I know you mean well, but I have too much to do right now.
I'll let you talk some sense into her, Hawke.
Varric is very sweet. Frequently infuriating and a terrible busybody, but sweet. Were you looking for me? Nothing's wrong, is it?
Nothing's the matter. I thought I'd see how you were doing.
And I'm being a poor host, as usual. In the market the other day, out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw Tamlin. I blinked, and he was gone. I don't know what it meant. Maybe nothing. Maybe I'm going mad. I miss them all. Even the Keeper.
I'm sure the Keeper would like to see you again.
I'm sure she would. She loves to lecture. I bet her new first appreciates that. I wish I could have seen it. It doesn't matter. I'm here now. Maybe Varric was right. Shall we go out for a bit? I could use some sunshine.
So it sounds like Merrill is becoming more and more obsessed with fixing this mirror. She's not even going outside that much anymore. Somewhat alarming. Most of the time when we check in with our companions here, they'll not involve a particular quest, although I believe one or two of them will. Next up on the list, I believe, should be Varric and Isabella, so let's check in at the Hanged Man.
I hear the champion of Kirkwall's killed a dozen dragons and sleeps on it.
Oh, that looks like the house special. Whiskey flavored with rat droppings.
You don't have to keep checking up on me. I'm fine.
I'm just here for the rat flavored whiskey.
Right. Remember what you said after the mess with the Qunari.
I'm proud of you for doing the right thing.
It may have been the right thing, but it was also the dumb thing. The relic was mine. I should have kept running.
I couldn't have saved Kirkwall without you.
Bullshit. You could have stormed the keep and slaughtered all those Qunari if you had to. You and Aveline. I mean, look at her. She's a woman-shaped battering ram. The fact is, you and I have nothing in common anymore. You're a champion, and I'm just a lying, thieving snake.
Whatever you think you are, I still care about you. It must have been hard to give up the relic, and I appreciate it. Whatever comes, you have my support.
Well, perhaps it's time to stop hiding. And I do miss the trouble we used to get into. Tell you what, I'll be here if you need me.
So whether or not Isabella showed up at the end of Act 2, you can find her here at the beginning of Act 3. If you choose to, I guess, I don't know, maybe forgive her is the right word, she will enter back into your party. If you reject her for her betrayal, or in this case, where she did come back just for starting the whole Qunari thing in Kirkwall to begin with, she will leave the party and will basically drop out of the rest of the story.
There's something to it, I swear.
If you think that was bad, I should tell you about the Black Marsh.
See, when you say things like that, Blondie, it just makes me glad I didn't know you sooner. Who goes to a place named Black Marsh on purpose? Now, they called it Beer Marsh. No, still doesn't work.
You've got a point. The marsh part does cancel out anything else. Flower Marsh, Kitten Marsh. No, no good. Ah, you've got company. I'll see you later.
Hawke, what can I do for you?
What was Anders here for?
Only place in Kirkwall he can get a decent drink. Blondie comes by here and I put him on my tab. He's got some stories about his days in Ferelden that sound implausible, even to me. He's not bad for a mage. Crazy, but that's most everyone in this city.
I'm not here on business. Just stopping by.
Drinking is business, champion. You know that.
So, what's the word in Lowtown, Varric?
Nothing you don't know already. The Viscount's departure, a vacuum of power, troubles brewing. Get rid of one thread and another appears. I'm starting to think this city's in love with Crisis. Hope you're ready for it, my friend. I'm keeping Bianca close.
And sure enough, trouble is brewing, as we will see as the act goes along.
To Donick the other day.
Since when do you talk with my husband?
He comes to the mansion once a week. We play Diamondback.
What? Why am I not invited to these games?
He says you get angry when you lose.
I do not. All right, perhaps I do. Still, that's no reason not to tell me.
It is if he's a betting man.
I disavow all knowledge of gambling occurring in my household.
That's very cute, Fenris. Alright, let's see. Next up should be Anders, I believe. How's things in the underground, Anders?
You think I don't know the city guard is just another arm of the Templars?
That is completely unfair.
If they show up here, I'll know who to blame. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to see that. I just can't be too careful, now that the Knight Commander has basically appointed herself Viscount.
Between ruling the city and torturing mages, it's a wonder she has time to keep that sword so shiny.
She has nearly crushed the flame of hope for mages here. The mage underground is all but destroyed, and those left have turned to blood magic as their only option, which Meredith knows will prevent any chance of the public taking their side.
You don't think that kind of proves her point?
A mage saved all of us from the Blight. But it makes no difference. The Chantry set us on this path long ago. It would take something truly catastrophic to change people's thinking now.
Dun dun dun. Remember that line for later, folks. I like the little line that they add, that it was a mage who rescued everyone from the Blight. That only happens if your warden that you imported was a mage.
Quiet, Barrick.
I'm thinking of switching the rope.
And of course we're in Darktown, which means random encounters all around.
Well, that certainly takes the fun out of it. Contentment in the barracks? We'll pay to hear that shit.
I hope when they do Dragon Age Inquisition, they don't have this thing where the fights can... How do I want to say it? When you can have banter during fights, because then you can never hear what they're saying. It's just very annoying. Ooh, something down there on the floor.
Dog spool.
The Seekers of Truth. Sir Whitmore, when I mentioned powers greater than the Templars, I didn't mean the Chantry. Sure, they command the Templars, but that was not always so. The Inquisition... Ooh, keyword. The Inquisition once hunted heretics and cultists as well as mages, and their reign of terror ended only with the inception of the Circle of Magi. They became the Templar Order, for good or ill, the Watchers of the Mages and the martial arm of the Chantry. It was a mutually beneficial arrangement, but few know that the Chantry created yet another order to watch over the Templars, the Seekers of Truth. I know little of them myself, but I can say the following things with certainty. They serve the divine, and they are feared. When a Seeker steps from the shadows, the Templars run for cover, because why would he come unless the Templars somehow failed in their duties? Seekers are extremely effective investigating abuses within the Circle and hunting particularly evasive apostates. It's said that they are immune to a blood mage's mind control and possess the ability to read minds or erase memories. But this is likely exaggeration. So we return to my original dilemma. Who watches powers greater than that of the Templars? One assumes it's the divine, but how much could she know about their activities when their very existence is a mystery to most? A letter from an unknown priest found in the Grand Cathedral archives.
Real dog.
And sure enough, it is the revival of this ancient Inquisition that is the centerpiece of the next game. So that's a very timely piece of lore right there that we just found. Alright, I believe we only have 2 more companions to go. So we're going to start with following up with Sebastian, and then we'll be following up with Fenris. In both cases, these are attached to small quests.
Do you feel like a citizen, Fenris?
Excuse me?
You've been in Kirkwall as long as I have. Does it feel like home?
It feels. That itself has been a surprise.
I think I know what you mean.
Fenris and Aveline can have an angst session every now and then. Hello, Sebastian.
The first enchanter overstepped his bounds.
He was provoked.
The people want to know which side you favor. It weakens you.
Strength will not win this fight, Sebastian. If the Maker is merciful, he will help them find peace. We can only be waiting when they do.
Do you never intend to give a public answer, Your Grace?
What have I been asked?
About the mages. You could calm this fire if you stepped forward.
The Chantry's teachings are clear. Those who turn against them would not listen more to me than to Andraste.
Mage this, Templar that. Is there anywhere in Kirkwall people don't talk about this?
No, and I've looked, believe me. Even the rats in Darktown are following this mess. The last time mages rebelled against the Chantry, they ended up ruling Tevinter. Should we just ignore them?
I knew I liked you.
I did not expect things to deteriorate so fast. I thought after the Qunari, no one would wish for more violence. It has drawn more attention than I would like. Sebastian, if I can ask...
Anything, Your Grace.
And the champion, too, if you will?
I am your humble servant.
You honor me. The Divine is concerned about the situation here. She does not want to see the Free Marches become another Imperium. She has sent an agent to assess the danger. Meet with her, please. Tell her drastic measures won't be required.
I don't want to see the Divine's armies march against Kirkwall.
Could we keep the Exalted marching to a minimum? I keep all my stuff in Kirkwall. Surely the Divine wouldn't treat the whole city as enemies.
She is concerned. It is never wise to draw the concern of the powerful.
She is the voice of Andraste. She cannot turn the might of the Chantry against the innocent due to proximity.
Were no innocents harmed in the exalted marches? She will do her best, Sebastian. But she must act first to protect the faith.
What can you tell me about this servant of the Divine?
I was not told her real name, only to call her Sister Nightingale. She is said to be the Divine's left hand, sent to do work that might blacken the Divine's name.
What argument would convince her?
The Divine has heard my protests already. I must trust your own powers of persuasion now.
This cannot wait.
Thank you. We cannot allow this ridiculous mage rebellion to turn into holy war.
The agent, Sister Nightingale, will be waiting in the Viscount's throne room tonight. She wishes to remain unseen. The room has been sealed since the Qunari incident. It may be difficult to get in without attracting attention.
Alright, so for this mission I think we'll take this party with us. Get some nice friendship points for Sebastian for agreeing to go along with the quest. Oh, and actually, we have 2 leveling up opportunities here, so we'll take care of that really quick. Okay. So we need to go to the Chantry at night, I believe. Yes. You have to go through Hightown, though, which means we may end up getting at least one random encounter. We'll see how things go. Just like the previous 2 acts, with the exception of Darktown, if you go to any other area of the city at night, you run into random encounters, which, again, if you deal with enough of them, it will trigger a small side quest where you can take out the organization that is causing the trouble, whatever it happens to be. In this case, we have the Blood Ragers. I believe this is a Blood Mage group because it looks like these soldiers here are all thralls, or slaves, of a Blood Mage. Remember the previous lore that we picked up talked about the mind control of Blood Mages. That is a problem.
Frankly,
am I going the right way? I am certainly not.
prefer the refugees.
And you go around this way. We're not going to the Chantry at night. I think I misspoke that. We're going to the Viscount's Keep at night. Which is actually somewhat unusual. I believe almost always you can only go to the Viscount's Keep in the day, so somewhat interesting to be able to come there at a different time of day for once. Oh, I guess I should note, just in case it happens during this act, by the time I'd reached the end of Act 2, I had expected to progress the romance with Fenris, because that was the one that was voted on. But I didn't quite have enough friendship or rivalry to actually initiate the scene. So I did do a little bit of work with the game console in order to get it to be possible so that I could engage in progressing the romance of Hawke and Fenris. However, sometimes messing with the console can produce unexpected glitches in future missions. So if that should happen, then I just wanted to let you know that that's probably what happened, is that because I messed with the console, some glitches occurred down the road. I don't know that for certain. It may be that the rest of the game will play out perfectly fine, but you never quite know. With all of the various story events affecting others, it can be a pretty delicate web. And if you pluck one strand, you don't know what else is going to be affected, so to speak. So, I just wanted to give some fair warning there.
Hello again, champion.
And Hawke's going to be addressed as champion quite a lot from now on.
Off since his death. A strange place for a holy sister to be.
Son.
Let's see who this Sister Nightingale is.
So, even the Divine fears us now. She should. Kill the spies!
Oh. We've stumbled into the middle of something here. It's a blood mage group here. Complete with obligatory rage demon. 2 rage demons. Stop going after me. Fenris, you're supposed to be attracting all the aggro. Thank you. Last enemy there, I believe. Yep.
The Resolutionists. I might have known they would be part of this.
Are you Sister Nightingale?
I am. Or you may call me Liliana. The Divine sent me to investigate the possibility of a rebellion here in Kirkwall. I have some experience in unconventional situations.
So, welcome to Act 3 cameo number 1. It's Liliana.
The Liliana? Who accompanied the hero of Ferelden to slay the Archdemon?
Ah, I see it will be harder to remain anonymous so near the Ferelden border. Yes. I knew the hero of Ferelden. Perhaps you have heard the songs I wrote of our time together. But that was many years ago. I am working for the Divine now, in Orlais. I had not thought to return to this part of Thedas.
Who are the Resolutionists?
An offshoot of a fraternity within the Circle of Magi.
Supported by the Magisters.
There's no proof of that.
I bet a lot of mages think they'd enjoy Tevinter's freedoms, and completely forget that few ever achieve the power to enjoy them.
There have always been factions that support freedom from the Chantry, and the abolition of the Circle. We have tolerated them, but the Resolutionists have become violent. They are likely behind the unrest here.
And of course, that was one of the goals of Warden Vexus back in the original game, was to get the Circle out from under Chantry control.
I appreciate you stepping in back there.
Of course. They mistook you for me, so they must know I am in Kirkwall. The Divine has long suspected that Kirkwall's problems were spurred by an outside group.
Like any mage with a brain can't come up with, let's rebel.
As if any mage with a brain couldn't conceive of anything else.
This attack proves she is right.
Will the Divine send soldiers?
Divine Justinia takes the situation here very seriously. She believes it is the worst threat to Thedas since the Qunari invaded.
A handful of apostates. How can that possibly...
The whole world is watching Kirkwall. If it falls to magic, none of us are safe.
None of you?
Tell Elthina to leave. There is refuge for her at the Grand Cathedral in Orlais. She will not be safe here.
These mages are out of control.
Okay, so to finish off this quest, we're going to have to return to the Grand Cleric and tell her that she has been asked to retreat to Orlais for her safety. Got some nice item drops here from the enemies. So let's head back out and we'll go back to the Chantry.
So your tranquil solution was hardly the Holocaust you imagined.
You've been seeking revenge for the death of one family for as long as I've known you. Are you honestly judging me for trying to save the lives of every mage in Thedas?
But they were never threatened. It was a single man's lunacy. The Chantry would never follow through with such a thing.
Yet.
Endless paranoia. And this is also another lighting scheme that we don't see very often in Hightown, which is a kind of early dawn. It's kind of nice. Alright, let's head back to the Chantry. As we do, looks like we're going to pass another person offering a quest. Delilah Howe.
Mistress Hawke, I must speak with you. You're the only one that can help. The Wardens mounted an expedition to retrace your route through the deep roads to discover whatever it is you found years ago. It's a fool's errand, and my poor brother is with them. Nathaniel Howe.
Nathaniel? Well, put me in a dress and call me a Templar. How is the old boy doing?
He's missing, Sirrah. Haven't you been listening?
I'm not worried about Nathaniel. He's crawled out of worse places alive.
Indeed. Nathaniel Howe. It's nice to hear about him again.
I take it you and Nathaniel have some history.
Certainly. We were in the Wardens together in Amaranthine. Hordes of Darkspawn, psychotic broodmothers. Usual Warden business. I wonder if Nathaniel ever found a sense of humor.
Why were Wardens interested in our expedition?
Maker help me, I have no idea. My brother never tells me these things.
Wardens range into the deep roads all the time.
But he's been gone far too long. Something terrible has happened. I'd tell the Wardens, but by the time I reach Vigil's Keep, my poor brother...
Do you know any other details?
I know almost nothing. Nathaniel never speaks about the Wardens. It was only happenstance that I heard your name mentioned. Please, go back to the deep roads. Find my brother. You must.
Okay. So we will take a shot at finding Nathaniel Howe somewhere in the deep roads. And that, by the way, will also be our last excuse to go back into the deep roads for this game, I believe. As you might expect, that quest is only available if you have downloaded a previous game that includes the content from Dragon Age Awakening.
By now, you must see what an injustice the Templars are.
Must I? I see Templars trying to control what they have good reason to fear.
But they go too far.
Talk to Hawke about her mother. Ask her who went too far.
You can't hold all mages responsible for that.
It doesn't take all mages to cause this. Only the weak ones.
The debate continues.
What would you say to an exciting trip to Orlais? I hear the Grand Cathedral's lovely this time of year.
What?
You were right. The Divine will be taking action against Kirkwall, though the sister didn't say what. You must take the holy relics from the chantry and leave for safety.
Sebastian, I'm surprised at you. Andraste would not thank me for saving a few dusty finger bones and my own skin at the cost of people's lives.
So, we noticed that he didn't say that, Sebastian mentioned that they don't know what actions the Divine will take. And we know that at some point in the future, Cassandra Pentecost with the Seekers arrives in Kirkwall. So perhaps those two events are related.
Are you saying you will not flee?
When I became Grand Cleric, I took a vow to the people of Kirkwall and the Free Marches. I will not leave my flock.
Would you let yourself die?
There is no greater devotion than to lay one's life at the Maker's feet. There is no better death than to take the blow for another.
You don't hear that one quoted often, do you?
Please, Your Grace. Sister Nightingale thinks there will be war.
Then, I must make peace. Settle yourself, Sebastian. I'm in no personal danger. I am Grand Cleric. Who would dare attack me?
If you will not shield yourself, then I will be your shield. You will come through this safely by the Maker's name. I swear it.
Careful, Sebastian. Oaths are dangerous.